Alrighty, joined now by Nelly Korda here at the LPGA Drive-On Championship. Nelly, before we get into being home and all that, just how's the game feel after making your first start at TOC last week?
Yeah, feels pretty good. Didn't really have too long of an off season. Got to play Grant Thornton with Tony, which was really exciting, and then followed it up with playing with my dad at the PNC, which was super fun to end the year that way, and had probably 3 weeks to kind of decompress and get ready for the new season. So not too much time off, but happy to be home and excited to get this week going.
Absolutely. Just can you just talk a little bit about being home, getting to play, de facto host? I saw you posted a coffee rec to some of the girls here on tour. Just what's it been like, kind of to being home, and how's that kind of affected your routine maybe a little bit?
It's definitely weird staying at home and sleeping in my own bed and having a closet full of options for the week, not living out of a suitcase. But it's been nice. I mean, I live like 40-ish minutes away, so not too close, and my parents probably live like 15, so I'll be stopping by their house for dinner probably every single day. A little spoiled, but it's going to be nice. I'm going to have a lot of friends and family come out that usually don't, maybe if they don't want to drive up to Tampa or to Naples, and it's going to be close, and hopefully I get a good home crowd.
Absolutely. Jason?
Hey, Nelly. What's it like playing a golf course that you're pretty familiar with? You've played it a bunch over the years.
Yeah, gosh, I only got to play here maybe a couple times in like juniors, and then I played like 2 or 3 times for the US Open qualifier. So I know the golf course, but haven't played it a bunch. I'm usually out at Concession, Sarah Bay, and the Ritz. But yeah, I mean, being familiar with the golf course always helps. And I know that I haven't played it since the redo. I came out maybe a couple months ago, just after summer, when they finished kind of the redo. So a little different. Definitely took out some trees. I think they did something to the greens as well. But overall, it's nice to play a golf course that you kind of know.
Does that give you an advantage?
No, I don't necessarily think so, because again, I don't come out here that often. I mean, it's kind of like going to a tournament where you've played kind of most of your career, where you, like, let's say Lake Nona, I've played out there probably just as much as I've played out here.
When you're playing a tournament like this in your hometown, is there added pressure?
I would say that just you feel more support. Obviously, you want to perform well in front of your friends and family, but overall, I think you can look at it at a very positive way, where you have more support this week, and that kind of gets you going a little bit more.
What's really the challenge of this golf course after the renovations?
I would say I've only played 9 holes. I played yesterday, but the severity of the greens, I mean, they've actually flip-flopped the 2 9s, so 9 is actually, or 18 is actually 9, and so like let's say number 8, the green there, and if the wind picks up and the green speeds kind of become a little faster and firmer, I think the severity of the greens is going to be tough to judge out here.
You mentioned the concession, so what does it mean to you to have an AJGA event named after you that's going to be held there?
It's going to be so amazing. I'm very excited. I'm very honored that, I have a tournament named after me, and TaylorMade and I can bring, the best of the best to Concession, to my home club, and hopefully, the girls put on a good show. I'm wanting to kind of set up the golf course on Monday. We'll see if they let me. Monday is like the finishing day of the event, so I'll see if they let me help in the course setup.
How does that happen? How do you get a tournament named after you? I mean, what's the process?
It's TaylorMade kind of brought the opportunity to me, and there's no way I could ever say no. I mean, the AJGA gave me so much in junior golf, and I think it's just a huge honor to just be part of that process.
With so many cool events on the calendar this year, I know you're obviously Olympic gold medalist and all sorts of other things. What are you looking forward to most this year, with it being an Olympic year, a Solheim year, playing at St. Andrews? You got to pick of the litter, I guess.
I feel like the years are just getting better and better with the course lineups. I mean, last year we played at Pebble. I mean, this year, we have Solheim. Olympics and then St. Andrews. So I feel like just the lineups of events is just getting better and better every year, which is always fun to look forward to these events. But I think what I'm looking forward to most, or necessarily more of my goal in mind, is just to stay healthy and play a full year. And that's kind of what I'm focused on.
What have you worked on in the off season? I know obviously pretty solid year last year, but just missing that victory. But what did you work on maybe or tweak in the off season, if anything, to maybe pick up that victory this year?
Gosh, I didn't really have an off season. I just built from last year and kind of worked on the same stuff coming into this year. I'm not playing Asia, so I'm taking 7 weeks off after this week. I am flying out to see my grandparents on Monday. Jess is going to give birth soon, so there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff in the next 7 weeks, and hopefully, I can get into the gym in the next 7 weeks and build a base for this year and make sure that my body's healthy for this upcoming year, because it's going to be, let's say, depending on how you play, it can be a very busy summer.
I know Jason McDeedy became a father last year. We always call it kind of jokingly called you Auntie Nelly, but now you're actually going to be an aunt. Just how excited are you for Jess and Johnny and looking forward to this new chapter in your life and hers?
Yeah, entering my auntie era, 2024. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm mostly excited just to see this new chapter in Johnny's and Jess's life, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
Going back to Braden Country Club, I know that you mentioned that you haven't played it a bunch, but you did have some success with the U.S. Women's Open qualifier out here. How much of that experience can you rely on? Obviously, the golf course has changed a bit, though.
Yeah. It was so long ago. It was my first year on tour. That's the last time I actually played this event or at this golf course, really competitively. And I'm entering my 8th year on tour. So that was 8 years ago. That's a long time playing a golf course. So I'm just going to make a game plan this week. As boring as it sounds, you have to be really simple with golf. Take it one shot at a time, see how it goes. Every day the weather is a factor, and you just have to take it as it goes, and take your opportunities where you can. And everyone's going to make mistakes, but minimizing those. Golf is about minimizing your mistakes and taking the opportunities where you can.
What do you like about Donald Ross design courses?
He ranges from so many types of golf courses. You have typically, I like the Donald Ross golf courses that have the smaller greens, where you have to hit a really good second shot in. And I do play at Sarah Bay. I think the golf courses are pretty similar. And again, the toughest part about the golf courses are definitely the second shots in and the greens. So it's not going to play easy, especially if the wind is up. And, this is kind of like old school Bermuda, where if you hit it into the rough, it's very penalizing, where it just sinks to the bottom and you don't know how it's going to come out. So making sure that, you're hitting your fairways, hitting your greens, and giving yourself opportunities. That's the most important.
What do you remember about your Olympic experience? What really stood out in your mind? You're going to take with you the rest of your life, I guess.
Yeah, getting to share it with my sister, probably. That was the best part about it. It was a weird year. You couldn't have family or friends out there. You didn't really have the fans, even though all the volunteers coming down 18 really made it feel like you were playing in front of a lot of fans. Honestly, that week's such a blur. All those weeks that you win, you kind of in a sense, black out, right, where you kind of get into your zone and you just groove. Yeah, and I don't know. For me, the best part of that week was getting to share it with my sister.
You're playing again this Olympics, aren't you?
It depends if I qualify, yeah.
Qualifying?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your rise to number 4. I've done stories on you when you were younger, and your sister and your dad. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about, I know you want to get to number 1, but let's talk about what it took to get to where you are in the world right now and how much work you have put in.
Yeah, I feel every athlete goes through the grind of just practicing, competing, and making sure that you're putting everything you possibly can into your body. So having not just one, but two parents that played professional sports really helps, and their guidance, and I have a lot of trust in them, and they're my go-tos, and also having two siblings that also do it too for a living, it really helps. So constantly bouncing ideas off of them and constantly trying to improve, but as well of not overcomplicating things and keeping it simple.
All right, we got time for one or two more.
Well, how much contact, last question for me, how much contact do you have with your sister? I mean, are you so busy? How often do you get the contact with her?
We talk every day.
Every day?
Yeah, yeah, we all talk every day. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank
Nelly.
you.